All right. Good morning. Thank you all for coming. Let's see if we can get the show on the road. So, welcome to AdaCon. So this is Ada Lovelace Day for people who don't know. So this is the official worldwide Ada Lovelace Day, second Tuesday of October every year. We celebrate Ada Lovelace, the woman who invented programming. And I thought that was a fitting day to do it, but it's really funny about having like a fixed day in the year. It means you have zero flexibility on anything at all. It's like, I will try to book a venue and they'll go like, yes, but can you do the Wednesday after? I was like, no, sorry, the day is locked. So let's see. So some practical information before we begin. So there are fire exits, and so here, and over there. The meeting spot, if there is a fire, is outside at St. Olavs Plass, at the kind of the roundabout with the weird statue. The bathrooms, as far as I understand, the closest bathroom is when you exit this room. You will kind of see ahead of you on the wall, there will be a sign for the bathrooms. And yes, and there will be lunch, and there will be like drinks throughout the day, some snacks and stuff that will be here in the breaks. The lunch will be in the actual like cafeteria restaurant area of the building, and hopefully we will be able to all go at the same time, so it's easy to find. So this whole complex is refurbished to kind of different buildings, and so it can get kind of confusing if you come in from different directions. So I'm hoping that we'll try to keep all the walking kind of simple for today, but it can get confusing, and so yeah, we will do our best. After the conference, there is dinner and drinks in a restaurant which is kind of under the building, which is called Skråplanet. It's kind of a fun little place because it used to be a part of a garage thing. So the whole kind of restaurant bar thing is kind of on a turn. Like if you can imagine like a garage like going down. Okay, anyway. If you didn't register for dinner, then I mean, you can give it a go. We'll see about that. But at the end of the day, before dinner, there will be like an open space, and me and Marcus, who will hopefully be here shortly. We're gonna have like he's kind of the extrovert of the two of us, and so he's going to be in charge of the open space. But I also told him that I can't really deal with like being social, and so the open space is going to be about tech, because that's kind of like what I can do. I can't like talk to people about human things because I don't know how to do that. But hopefully it will be good. He has experience running an open space, so that should be nice. If you feel like that is not where you are in your head right now, you can run away and wait in the in the restaurant for the dinner, and there is a bar there, and you should be fine. All right, so I thought a lot about what I was going to say today, and I was thinking, okay, maybe I should explain like why are we doing this and things, but I'm not sure that it matters. So after thinking a lot, I think it's a little bit like art, like either it matters or it doesn't matter, and it doesn't really matter why. But there are certain things that I want to say. So one of the things that I loved about programming from the beginning, first of all, one of the things I loved about programming was the feeling I got from math. like getting something right and having like this completeness of something. But the other, but then actually having something that was existed in the world that people could interact with, that actually had a thing like after that. I really love that. But one of the other things I really loved about programming was that I don't need anybody else. I don't have to rely on anybody else. I don't have to ask for help. I can do it on my own. I don't necessarily make the prettiest things, like you've seen things designed by programmers. They're not great, usually. But I can actually make something that works and does a thing, and I don't need anybody else. I can have my head and a computer, and that's all I need. Unfortunately, one of the things I learned about making a conference is that I can't do it alone. Which is hard for me, because that means I have to ask for help. All right, so I've thought a lot about, over the past few years, the power of something extremely silly, and that is the power of saying, how hard can that be? And the thing is, I do that all the time. All the time, I will go and approach a problem with, okay, how hard can that be? And just go. And as we all know, it is hard. Like, it's almost always really, really hard, and completely underestimated. But the thing is, if I had estimated it properly, then I wouldn't have done it. And so the power of just kind of going, how hard can that be, and just rushing in, means that you do things that you would otherwise never have done. And that's sort of what this conference is. So to make a conference, to make this, and for the first time in 2019 also, I needed people to believe in me, because this was basically Patricia said a thing, and then what, So I needed people to believe in me, and I also needed people to believe in some kind of vague purpose. And so I need to thank some people. So first of all, I want to thank you. So come up here. So I want to thank Marcus Tacker. Some of you have already kind of communicated with him or by email. When we did the first time in 2019, I basically tweeted some stuff about making a conference, basically in anger, and I did. And this man, who had never met me in my life and lives in Trondheim, said, okay, I'll make the website. And since then, he has basically done like at least half the work, at minimum. And before today, we met once? Yeah. Yeah, in Amsterdam. So that's pretty amazing. Yeah, so thank you so much. And I want to thank the speakers, because I know how much work it is and how stressful it is to do this, and for people to kind of believe enough to do that, that really means a lot to me. And I'm just going to stop talking before I cry. So moving on, but I really, really appreciate it. So give a hand to the speakers, please. All right. And then I really need to thank the sponsors. And that's, that's the thing they say at every conference, but like usually a conference has, some kind of pitch material or something. The first time we did this conference, all the sponsors got was Patricia had like ranted on Twitter. And companies showed up and they paid for stuff, because this conference doesn't actually have a budget. Everything is somebody paid for something. So when we say this company is a venue sponsor, that means Rebel is giving us this for free. When we say that NDC is the streaming and video sponsor, NDC are paying a professional company to come here and do that. So for all of the sponsors, I am extremely grateful for believing in this thing. Both this year and last time. And so I also want to thank the sponsors last time because they were willing to put both time and money into this idea that was barely even thought out at the time. And that takes faith, that takes a commitment, that takes believing in something, and I really appreciate that. So for AdaCon 2019, all of these companies sponsored something, and even a couple of conferences. So NDC sponsored a recording last time as well. Booster did travel scholarships for several of the speakers, and we just had a bunch of people just show up and do things, and that was awesome. At the time, it was half-day conference with 100 people. This year, we had a full-day conference for 200 people. So for the sponsors this year, we have a whole bunch. They're all sponsoring different things. A lot of the companies are, and a lot of the big ticket items this year is sponsoring food. And so that means that you get to go to a tech conference for free and get food for free, and you can thank these people. So please give a round of applause to the sponsors. All right. All right. So back again to why, right? Does the why matter? I came to the conclusion that I don't think the why matters a lot. Maybe just a little bit, and maybe that's because maybe the value matters. Like, what is the value of this? What is it kind of that I think matters? And a long time ago, I saw this somewhere. Somebody said it, and I kind of got caught up in it, and I think it's true to a certain extent. So decisions are made by the people that show up. That means if the people who are there are the people who are going to make the decisions, and so if you want to make change, you have to show up. However, and that I think is the weakness of this, is that it's not completely covering the problem. Because decisions are made by the people who are in the room. And not everyone has access to those rooms where decisions are made. And it keeps coming up over and over in tech. We are making stuff for everybody, but we don't have people in the room making the decisions that represent everybody. And if we don't, we are going to make things that don't work for everybody. And so, I'm an idealist, but I'm also like, I don't like talking about it. So I said it, it's over. Let's have a tech conference. And so welcome to AdaCon on Ada Lovelace Day, October 10th, 2023. And for the people who were there in 2019, you know that in 2019 we had this list of female tech role models that we did in 2019. And a few years ago, Finn picked up the mantle and did that, and that also made me feel like I didn't have to do it anymore. And in honor of that, I want to introduce also our first speaker, which is Ruth Merete. And where are you? There you are. And she's going to have the first talk today. She was the winner last year, a Female Developer of the Year. And it has a lot to do with her work, which is sort of a little bit you will hear about today. Maybe, and he'll mic you up. And And yeah, so I was on the committee. So I got this. I think maybe the first one they did, maybe in 2020 or something. Could you pour in a glass, please? And then I've been on the committee, on the jury for this, and it was completely unanimous. People were extremely impressed by Merette's career and her work, and it's an honor for her for us to have her as our first speaker. And so I will set up her slides. Just one moment, if I can find my mouse. There we go. And there we go. I don't have a clicker for you, unfortunately, because mine broke.
That's okay. Yeah, thank you for the nice introduction.